quite stressed too. It's a really stressful time of year, exam season. But I guess we all gotta do it. Christmas, the holidays make it even harder. Because all I want to do is just curl up and watch a Christmas movie and drink hot chocolate. But instead, we have to study for and write exams. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for coming over today to study. Yeah. Do you feel ready, prepared for our exam tomorrow? It's okay. Don't worry. We're not prepared yet. That's why we're studying. Right? If we were completely prepared, then we would not have to study. Don't worry. You're gonna do fine. You're gonna know everything by tomorrow, okay? Yes, don't worry. Okay. Alright, what I would like to do is for us to just read over our notes, and I can write everything down for us, and just pay attention to what I'm saying, and hopefully it will make sense, okay? Okay, great. Can I get you anything? Would you like some water? A snack? No? Okay. Alright, well, we should just start then. Okay? Don't freak out. It's okay. Alright. I'll show you. Okay, so, and besides, it's just, like a beginner English elective. It's fine. It's not a big deal, okay? Good. Alright, we got this. Okay. So, I've got my pen and my notebook here for us. So I was thinking I'll just kind of go through the notes and write down what looks important. Does that sound good? Okay. So then we can just kind of like read off of this to study. Okay? Alright. So So the first thing is the poetic genres that we learned about in class. Okay, so I'll write them down. So the first one that we talked about was a narrative. Can you see that? That's the first one we talked about. And that is when the story has a narrator. The poem, it tells a story. It's in metered verse, so tells story, metered verse. Okay, I think maybe I'll write them bigger because it's probably hard for you to see. How is this? The second one that we talked about in class is a lyric. Can you see that okay? That's a lyric. it here. So the second is a lyric. Y-R-I-C. And that is, it says in the notes, it's generally short, and they express deep and personal feelings, and there's an I talking. So, deep feelings is what I'm going to write for us to remember that. Deep feelings. Okay. Okay. And the third one that we talked about is a sonnet. S-O-N-N-E-T, I think. So, a sonnet, S-O-N-N-E-T. It's the third one that we talked about. And it's a 14-line poem written in iambic pentameter. There are two kinds, the Shakespearean and the Petrarchan. The Petrarchan is about 200 years older than Shakespearean, but it's more popular. So 14 lines. 14 lines. Okay. Alright, what's next? The fourth one we talked about is a dramatic poem. D-R-A-M-A-T-I-C. D-R-A-M-A-T-I-C. And that's the fourth one that we talked about. And examples of this kind were the poems that we read in class. John Donne's The Flea and Marvel's To My Coy Mistress. So I'll just write The Flea here and we'll know to remember that. Okay, so the fifth one that we talked about is a blank verse. P-L-A-N-K space V-E-R-S-E. Blank verse. P-L-A-N-K space V-E-R-S-E. And that's the fifth one that we talked about. And this one, it has unrhymed lines written in iambic pentameter, so I'm going to write this a little smaller to fit it. Not rhymed. They're not rhymed. Okay, and the sixth kind that we talked about was a villanelle. A V-I-L-L-A-N-E-L-L-E. Villanelle. V-I-L-L-A-N-E-L-L-E. So that one is 19 lines, 5 tercets, and a quatrain at the end. So it's 19 lines. 19 lines. Please excuse my writing. Example of this one that we read was Dylan Thomas, Do Not Go Gentle Into the Good Night. So we read that in class, and that was a villanelle. Okay, so start a new page here. We can move on. So those are the types that we learned about in class. So next, let's do a little history of poetry. History of poetry. Okay. So, what does it say in the notes? Alright, so the first era that we talked about was Greek and Roman. Greek and Roman. And this was about 1200 to 1400 BC. It was the Greek and Roman era of poetry. Greek, Greek and Roman era. The next one we talked about was the medieval. I hope I spelled that right. I'm not sure. I spelled it like this. Midieval. And that was around 1000 AD. The medieval era. The next era we talked about was the Renaissance. The Renaissance. Era. Renaissance. And this was around 1600 AD. And this was like when a lot of Shakespeare's writing came about. Or all of it, I guess. And next we talked about the Enlightenment era. Enlightenment era, which was in the 18th century. There. And that was spelled ENLIGHTENMENT. Enlightenment. Next we talked about romantic poetry. This was went from about the 1789 French Revolution up until 1830. So that's the Romantic Era, Romantic. Next we talked about the Victorian Era, Victorian, and Elizabeth Barrett Browning was an example of this. And then finally we talked about the Modern Era, MODERN, and this is the 20th century. Isn't my writing so good? So yeah, then the Modern Era was some of the examples that we read in this course from the Modern Era were The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost and then Do Not Go Gentle. Okay, so what else? So we have some, next, why don't I change my pen color just for fun? Okay. Next, let's do some elements of poetry. Elements of poetry. Can you see that? I'm going to use my dark brown just to make sure you can really see what I'm writing. Are you finding this helpful to study? Yeah, okay, good. Alright, so let's work on this. So we talked about meter, which is the pattern of the beats. So I'm just going to write pattern, beat, and we'll know that. So it's meter, okay, we talked about rhyme, and that's words that have the same sound, and it says that they're used so that you notice the words more and you pay more attention to them because they're likely important to the meaning of the poem. So rhyme, same sound is what I'm gonna put. Same sound. Okay, and we have rhyme. There you go, rhyme. And so then we have some figurative language. Alliteration. Allitration. Alliteration, and that is the repetition of consonants like C, cell, she. It's a tongue twister. She sells C seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. Is alliteration, repetition of S. She sells seashells by the seashore. And then assonance, A-S-S-O-N-A-N-C-E. Is the repetition of vowels. So an example of this was hear the mellow wedding bells. Hear the mellow wedding bells. Hear the mellow wedding bells. So that's the repetition of E, a vowel. So it's assonance as opposed to alliteration. So next, we talked about personification. 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 And that is the giving of human-like qualities to non-human things. And what else did we talk about? We talked about metonymy. metonymy. And an example of that is using the word hands but meaning workers, or using the word heart but meaning kind. Okay, and hyperbole. 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 And that is an exaggeration. So an example of that is like I told you to do something a million times. You didn't actually tell them to do it a million times. It's hyperbole. You maybe told them 3 times. And then we also talked about, this is a fun one, onomatopoeia. onomatopoeia. And it's when the word sounds like what it's saying. So we use the example of the word oozes. It just oozes. So that was fun. And then we just talked about a couple more elements of poetry, which were repetition, R-E-P-I-T-I-T-I-O-N, repetition. And obviously when words repeat in the poem, they're very important and you should pay attention to it. And then we also talked about diction, D-I-C-T-I-O-N, diction, and that is just the word choice of the poet. So, we went through all of my notes, and I feel like we've got it now. We've got all of our words written down, and if I pointed to something, I feel like you could tell me. Do you think? Like, for example, what is alliteration? The repetition of consonants, right? She sells seashells by the seashore. Very good. See, you got this. You're gonna do amazing. Don't even worry, okay? Okay, good. Alright, so I feel like we're prepared. Do you? Yeah. Okay. Did you want to take my notes home with you to study more on your own? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Alright. Thank you so much for coming over. Good luck tomorrow. I'll see you there. Okay. Bye.